This is so wrong. What the f do you know about, what is it, vexillology? Shit opinion, dude. Get out of here. L take. Here, let's watch the new Geopold.
Europeans, Indians, Australians, South Americans, Arabs. Europeans, Indians, Australians, South Americans, Arabs, Brits, Canadians, Africans say goodbye to America and say hello to China. That's right.
24 years ago,
The map of global trade dominance looked like this. But guess what? Tariffs. With America pulling away from any foreign trade, for better or for worse, the rest of our countries are scrambling to get closer to planet Earth's new boss, China. So to introduce you to the world's new overlords and to signal
My favorite things about libs is their reformist loving America view on progressivism in the colonizer slave country. Then they look to China and want you to condemn it like Nazi Germany. Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. Adolf Hitler.
signify this great shift in global dominance, I thought I'd compare the old goats to the new goats and give you guys a comprehensive answer to the question on everyone's minds right now: China or the USA? The first category shootout we got is population. Come on now, this one is a statistical landslide. America has
340.1
million people. China is
1.411 fucking billion people. Oh my god. Fucking damn, we're on.
4x, bro. 4x. And the craziest thing is that some Americans seem to be completely unaware of this. I mean, I know geography isn't these guys' educational strong point, but come on now, man. 4x is crazy. Category shootout number 2, trains. Now look, I know America was built off the railroad. These guys did pioneer the art of connecting a massive landmass using tracks. And
also, ironically, in large part built by the Chinese. At least some parts of the American connective tissue.
Rail cars. But my god, are those days gone? My god, are those days over? America has genuinely fallen behind every single country on earth in terms of rail systems. Bro, I'm pretty sure Sudan has a better train network than the USA. So I was joking, but turns out it actually does. Just have a look at these rail maps, man. This is what you guys could be. In China, everyone gets the train, and it's ridiculously fast to travel like astronomical distances by rail in this country. Because you know how fast these goddamn trains go? Dude, we're talking 4.
I'm so mad. I just like, this shit makes me so upset. This makes me so goddamn upset. This is also the other reason why I get so annoyed with people who are like anti-China hawks, where I'm like, I want America to be like China, dumbass, and not in like the bad ways. And it seems like the only direction that we are heading towards is not the cool shit, not like developing infrastructure, but instead more authoritarian measures, as though we are being dominated by a global superpower on a regular basis. When we're not, we are the global superpower.
430 miles per hour. Okay, here's 4 options. Guess what is the average speed for an Amtrak train in the USA? Wrong. You are wrong. Amtrak's long distance trains in the US average even lower than all these options at around 48 miles per hour. Bro, Loki, I reckon there are humans in China that can run that fast. I'm not even joking. You know what the funniest thing is? America actually tried copying China and invested shitloads of money into their very own high-speed bullet train. However, because the train tracks are so poorly maintained in this country, because oligarchs like Elon Musk lobby against public transport in favor of Tesla tunnels and shit, America successfully built the slowest high-speed train in the world. Congratulations, guys. In general, it's known the USA focuses on its cars. This is because, unlike seeing the free travel and transport of its people as a human necessity that should be available to...
The irony, of course, is that, and I've said this a lot of times, I've said this time and time again, China is so American coded in many meaningful ways that they also lap us on cars too now. They have an infrastructure that has both public transit in the form of trains, but also cars too. They even got cars, man. They got everything. They got McDonald's. They got KFC. They got cars.
to all people and is also just integral for developing a country's economy, quality of life, and equality. America commodified travel, a luxury item, something that exists only for profit. Okay, but bro, our road systems are just so high-tech and efficient and free. Firstly, they are not. Also, are you guys really choosing sitting in a shitty, bumpy, loud truck that you have to drive yourself through traffic, potholes, and endless, boring-ass scenery for like 12 hours over kicking back in a perfectly smooth, clean, silent bullet train with a restaurant, a toilet, internet, everything you could ever want for a quarter of the time? Alright, bro, sure. China, 1 point up. Of course, 1 point up. Category number 3. Colonial.
I hate this. I hate this shit, bro. I hate it. Why can't we have this? We are the wealthiest nation on the planet. Wealthiest nation in the history of mankind. Why can't we have this? Fuck!
Now, both these guys have a pretty strong reputation of ethnic cleansing, stealing land. Uyghurs, Iraqis. It's pretty commonly known that if either the USA or China is your op, you're cooked. However, I will say, with its foreign policy, America tends to just obliterate anyone and anything to smithereens. They'll take every last drop of oil you've got to offer, then piss off, leaving you with maybe a highway and a petrol station. At best, a completely corrupt, mentally unstable leader. Whereas China, you know, their intentions might not be the best. But they will still build some cool ass shit for the people to use. Tehran's metro system, Uganda's bridges, Gabon's schools, Hungary's police stations. And look, if I was the recipient, I think a cool train station, even if it was built by some slightly dodgy contractors, would be preferable to me and my entire bloodline.
Wait. Disclaimer, this was recorded before the Serbia protest and I wasn't aware of the collapse of the protest. Okay, I'm not making a joke. That terrible event. It all just sounds coincidentally bad.
Was built by some slightly dodgy contractors would be preferable to me and my entire bloodline being wiped out just because there's some kind of useful resource under my soil. And our goddamn Chevys need Chevy juice. I need it. So for that reason, China, another point up. Jesus Christ, man. You Americans gotta really work on reining it back here. You guys need some points desperately. I need you bad.
Hey, man, big dog.
The only area where America has seemingly cleared China was in the cultural dominance of Hollywood, which once again, due to endless thirst of profiteers, the parasitic nature of capital, even that part is actually getting eviscerated. No, not on treats. China's got treats, dog. China's got all the treats. You can't say that. China's not the USSR, okay? They got hella treats. And not only do they have hella treats, they now also have like they're making inroads in cultural dominance as well. You want the phone to order food? Here you go.
I need you, big dog, boy. Look here. Boy, I need you bad, man. Shit, I need about 50, man. Shit.
And that's where our next category comes in. Buckies. Howdy. So the microphone didn't work, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover instead. Hell yeah. Essentially what I was saying is, do you want to experience up to 75,593 square foot of beaver-themed gas pumps, brisket, root beer, beef jerky, banana pudding, diabetes, obesity, freedom, some more gas pumps, and also potential insurgent militant groups? Well, my friend, Bucky's is the place for you. This gem of absolute human innovation could be found in the deep, deep south. Our establishment is not fit for any of those stupid libs north of the Kentucky border. And absolutely, my pilgrimage destination, Bucky's, does not exist outside of the USA. It just ain't suitable for them damn Chinamen, them damn Oriental China women, them China peoples. Nah, nowhere near China. I ain't going nowhere near China. I mean, I think so. I actually never have looked at a single map that zooms out further than a party store in my local hometown of Gooberville, Arkansas. So, America 1, China 0. Food.
Bro, that's crazy. He literally had to slide in a metric of something that only exists in America to give a point to America. That's awesome.
Now this category shootout, it's not even a question I can ask and still be considered sane, okay? If you Yanks think you can ever even graze China in the culinary game, you are dreaming. Look, I do have a bit of an admission to make, right? I may or may not have been in China. They might have inserted a CCP chip in my brain. I'll accept the allegations you want to throw at me, but I don't know, if that brain chip is what makes Chinese food taste so good to me, then give me 2. Double my dose, bro. I want another injection of social credit into my brain right now. God made this food himself.
Like, it's crazy because American food is really good. Like, it's got everything. It's the world cuisine, right? It's true. It's true. It's undeniable. We have, due to the brain drain, due to, I guess, another aspect of colonial exploit, American food is everything, right? It's not just burger. Shut the f up. Let's be serious for a second. But the thing is, if we're talking about just straightforward cuisine, American cuisine versus Chinese cuisine clears. 5,000 years. Come on. You're out of your mind. But if we're talking about just overall availability of every type of food, even then China is probably competitive, if not clearing America. I'm saying that, like, as far as even allowing the metric that America is supposed to clear the rest of the planet on, which is every type of food that's readily available, the best version of every type of food that's readily available, even then I feel like China is still fairly close, if not beating out America.
I swear to God, yes, I may have endured a couple naked toilet sessions with my head in my hands due to the spice level out here.
It's like this. If I have no meat, I'm alright. If I have no eggs, if I have no meat or vegetables or anything at all, I'm fine. Let me tell you.
Chinese food isn't that good, bro. What the f are you saying? Brother, oh my God. The only issue with Chinese food is its proximity to Latin America, okay? It is the one singular major L. That's it. That's it. It's too far away. There's no Mexicans. The less Mexicans you have in your country, the more your cuisine and culture suffers. And when I say Mexicans, I mean the broad American definition of Mexicans, which is anything south of the Mason-Dixon line, okay? If you're south of the Mason-Dixon, you're Mexican, as you guys know. It's a huge, huge part of why I think the UK cuisine suffers, okay? When you go to London, you're like, where are the Mexicans? What the f is going on? Why are there no Mexicans? They think the Spanish people are the Mexicans of Europe. It's crazy. They're not. They're white. That's not, you're wrong. You're so wrong.
Tell you, this is my God.
Oh God, I couldn't control myself, man. I get one minute droplet of numbing broth on a singular taste bud of my tongue. I'm finishing the bowl. Then you add pork cutlet. Oh.
After a 10-hour flight from Turkey to Hong Kong, which felt like getting by Shaq, we were hungry. Turkish Airlines slop can only take you so far. So me and Leo decided
I personally love Turkish Airlines. Please, Erdogan, send me business guys.
to go to a Chinese restaurant. And for our noodles, I chose mild spice. It was so good, man. It tasted so good. I was crying. Tears were rolling down my face and my nose was stuffy from the spice. Mild spice my ass, man. They put diddy poop extract in this shit.
Sir, I don't want that much food, man. I got I'm serious, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. There's too much fucking rain. Yeah, fuck.
It's so good though, man. Chinese food is amazing, and even though you choose mild spice, it will still kill you. You will enjoy the experience. Like a dominatrix that you are attracted to. You are in pain. She has you crying, but you will still come back the next day for another one.
I don't even care, man. I will eat the freakiest Chinese food that you Americans are too pussies to even look at. Chicken foot, give it to me. Ground baked entire camel, give it to me. Spit roasted alligator, give it the to me. Speaking of alligator, this video sums up my entire thoughts regarding the USA versus China food debate. fuck it, bro. I would have eaten that bat. I would have been patient zero. And I don't even gotta mention American food. I've talked about it a shitload on his channel. I got entire videos dedicated to Yanks being fat. Go watch them after. One more strong point to China here. If I'm selling the great nation of China to you, and if you're thinking of relocating to a luxury penthouse in Beijing or Shanghai or Chongqing, or alternatively, you just want a really nice holiday, it would be extremely handy for you to know a bit of Mandarin, wouldn't it? 是的 I'll tell you one thing that I know for certain. The aunties in the Chinese diner are gonna treat you with a lot more respect if they're greeted with a ni hao as opposed to a hey, hello, hey. And that, my friend, is where italki comes in.
Execution date.
Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you will really focus on your speaking and listening, you know, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions.
You're saying
For me,
it's British, so opinion disregarded, but who better to know the fall of an empire that spanned across the globe than a British person? 13 colony lead, baby. They blew that shit. Think about that.
Yeah.
谢谢 is thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. The J we pronounce T. So 再见.
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, italki makes it easy. There's over 30,000 teachers, and you can find the perfect one through filtering by lesson category or even where the teacher's from. And best of all, with italki, you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions, and lessons are priced from only $5. Yes. You also get 3 trial lessons, which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved. Yes. Start your language learning journey now with the link below in the description, and don't forget to use the promo code Geopold2504, all caps. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more. Yes. So be quick, sign up now. Anyway, our next category is flags. Now, both these countries low-key have S tier flags, I can't lie. In the great flag tier list video, me and my...
I like that every single China hater quieted down once the zoomer editing kicked in. That's all it took for you. This is like Bluey, okay? A lot of you are babies that needed a pacifier. Everyone was like, Hasan, this is unjustifiable. Every state enforces violent actions. How dare you defend China? I believe in a stateless, classless, moneyless society that will magically exist out of nowhere, out of the blue, out of thin air. The contradictions are too glaringly obvious. You know what I mean? And now they're all like suckling on the pacifier.
My friend Wow Mao both rated these two in the highest tier possible.
Now Gucci, Louis, 3 bar logo, these niggas out there.
Yes! Yes! But the question is, which one is better? This is definitely gonna ruffle some feathers, especially in my social credit department, because America's gonna take the dub. I just think the Queen's tricolor, the stripes contrasted with the stars for each state.
This is so wrong. What the f do you know about, what is it, vexillology? Shit opinion, dude. Get out of here. L take.
Wow. And if China had more stars, something to represent each province maybe, it could have won this very close shootout. But unfortunately for you guys, it's another point up for America here. Finally, you Yanks are catching up and gaining on the PRC. Shootout number 7. Technology.
When me and Leo got into Macau with a ferry, I was wondering how to pay for the bus to get a ride to the center. Then, after approaching some locals, they told me, do you have WeChat Pay? And then I realized, oh no, we're cooked. And then we walked and walked and walked. We literally walked all of Macau from the ferry and back. Here is the Apple Fitness screenshot. And then we couldn't even buy anything because going to a store in Macau and asking to pay with a Visa instead of Alipay or WeChat Pay is basically insulting. We found one random store that accepted Visa, and when we talked to the cashier, he said something to his coworker, which I can only assume was get a load of this cracker, and reached down to pull out some old ass card reader which they hadn't used for probably 8 years.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Get my ass up, bitch ass thing. Shut the fuck up or knock your fucking head off your shoulder, ugly ass bitch. Stupid ass bitch. Now keep your fucking heart out your chest. Better watch the fuck out. I'll be crying if I look like that too, bro. That's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I be saying that's fucked up like, bro.
Please, give me the bar. Please, my friend, give me the bar. Please. Please, master, give me the bar, please.
Hell no. Hell no. I also wanted to find out if I could vape in a park, so my first idea was to go to a Chinese police officer and wave my vape around in front of him and ask if I can hit it. But I decided to Google it first. Boom. fuck you mean I have an illegal substance on Chinese land? Get this thing away from me!
Now, as we all know, China is Wakanda. Everything is modern and everything revolves around some kind of Chinese-made technological advancement. Want to pay for your meal? Use Alipay with your Chinese phone, which is connected to your Chinese bank account, which is connected to all your information, your house, your job, your citizenship number, your credit score. God bless the CCP. Now, Americans love to denounce this system as communist oppression. Look, I agree. I think it is extremely crazy how they have smile checkpoints that know who you are from facial recognition and make sure you're sparkly white.
We literally also have that now as well. The only reason why they had it before us is because they're technologically more advanced.
Are shining bright. But I got a question for you Americans, right? Do you not kind of have...
Yeah, we have that already just at airports, but it will roll out everywhere eventually.
The exact same thing? Yes or no? You guys literally have credit scores that determine whether you're allowed to rent a house or not, based on your history of spending money, plus completely unelected government officials, Elon Musk, have access to all your private information, where you live, your job, your credit score, and most importantly, your social security number.
What is this? Someone was saying, hold on. There's someone that was talking about like you have to scan your fingerprints or whatever when you go in to China. Yeah, I'm happy to do so.
But how is this any different to China? Also, bro, I guarantee if anyone in the world is spying on you, it's gonna be an American guy, not some Chinese dude. There's a reason all these military bases exist. There's a reason hundreds of suited up Americans can be found in the casinos of Alice Springs, Australia, okay? They're probably listening to us right now. Hello, Alan. So I'm thinking both China and the USA are like extremely dystopic. So they can draw. 1 point goes to all. Good job, guys. The next category is viruses. Look, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. We all remember what happened, man.
Just like it does not come from the influenza virus, you jackass. It has to come from the same virus to be in the same family. Viruses come in families. Stop touching niggas with your hands.
And yes, as I said, I do not blame the guy who started it. Chinese food could probably convince me to do anything. If that bat was tasty enough, I would 100% have started a worldwide pandemic that led to hundreds of thousands of innocent casualties. Easy. 1 point to China because not only are they the goats of medical viruses, they're also the goats of computer viruses. Number 9. Economy. Look, all I'm saying yet, the current government of the USA are out here justifying the US going into a recession. All I'm saying, bro, maybe just look at this tweet and then maybe just look at this graph. And then maybe have a look at this graph. And now have a look at this kabak. Look at it. This is America's economy right now. It should be amazing. If you blur your eyes, it looks like a delicious meal. But check a bit closer. All that glitz and glamour, all that salad and bread and the appetizing takeaway box is a ploy. It's just corruption and poo. Realistically, I don't think you'd ever see my boy Big Ping referring to recession as a good thing.
Find that I
Big Ping.
do better in bad markets. I buy things in bad markets. And you can't do that in a great economy. You can't buy it. Either you're going to buy it very expensively or not be able to buy it at all. So there's a lot of opportunity, I find, in the bad times.
This is Charles Schwab. It's not just a company, it's actually an individual. And he made $2.5 billion today, and he made 900.
Bro, that shit was crazy. Like, just directly pointing at the big guys that made out like gangbusters, okay, as the stock market collapsed and then rebounded. It's crazy. Just, what are you going to do about it? That's the attitude across the board.
He's a financial...
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You know, there is a reason why China's
It's so funny to be like, step 5, oligarchy. Dog, we're there. Like, we've been there. What do you mean?
billionaires are so much less rich than America. Makes you think, man. 1 point up to China. Bro, my social credit score is going crazy right now. Our next battle is over the elderly. Now look, I'm not saying the American elderly are weak by any means, but I do think they get handed a really, really bad deck of cards. All those years of American food and pollution and prescription medication really starts getting to you at an old age. Meanwhile, healthcare is ridiculously expensive, and half the time is a flat out scam. You know, doctors coercing you into taking medicine you don't even need so they can profit off your dying ass. And when you've lived a long life of eating Arby's, drinking Rockstar, smoking Marlboro Reds, and popping Ritalin daily, your health is probably in the kind of situation where having some good, honest, free healthcare would probably come in extremely handy, you know? Plus, there's no public transport, so to get anywhere, even if you're senile, the only option you have is the mighty car, which either leads to death or just being stuck in your house constantly. Or even worse, you're stuck in some Florida elderly care home where for the last time in your existence, another business rinses you for all you got. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of the same here in the UK. It sucks being old here. I've seen what it's like. The difference is America pretends to care about its old people, its veterans, etc. All these people you're meant to respect so much are essentially put out on the street to die from indulging in the harder version of the drugs they're already prescribed by some dickhead doctor who is definitely not getting paid by commission. They just somehow were gifted a new Tesla this Christmas. My new Tesla that was gifted to me by a pharmaceutical company has absolutely no correlation to the record amount of I sold this year. But going back to the bad treatment of elderly people, I have seen kind of similar things in the UK, which might explain why I was so blown away by these Chinese old people. These guys have superpowers, I swear to God. Because of the jet lag, right, one day I was up at the crack of dawn, walking around Hong Kong. Now, Chinese people will know what I'm talking about here. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Bro, these parks are just ram-packed full of genuinely 80-plus-year-olds wearing gym gear, doing the most insane exercise you've ever seen. Shit you wouldn't even see a young American doing. Trampolining, weightlifting, calisthenics, hula hooping, various athletics. On God, I saw pensioners doing backflips, front flips, cartwheels, handstands, you name it. It blew my mind.
What are they preparing for? Yeah, dude, we're so cooked. Oh my God. They're going to be like, yo, band for band, you send your 75-year-old plus against our 75-year-old plus, and we just duke it out. Oh my God. They're going to do, oh my God. It's like with India, with the border war, where they fight with sticks and stones. They're going to tell America to do like a Indian border war style situation with the olds. We're cooked. We're cooked. That's what grandpa's, oh my God, that's what grandpa's training for, bro.
It blew my mind. And the funniest thing is, if you get up as early as them, 6 a.m. let's say, and you go to the park, they just assume you're one of them. They're so happy to see young people up bright and early in the park. I had guys screaming good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Happy morning, sir. Hello. So yeah, extremely easy W for China here. Their old people are overpowered. And our last category shootout of them all is drip. Now, I know. America has great fashion. America has great clothing in general. But bro, I gotta tell you, right? Some of the shit I saw in China was on a different fucking level, bro. A different goddamn level.
Absolutely everyone dresses well or wears branded clothes. There were so many brand stores. It's probably the most I've ever seen in the world, honestly. Which is why I came back dripped out.
So honestly, one last final dub for China.
L take, wow, brand stores. Shut up, nerd.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Two valiant opponents. But overall, we have our victor, China. Who would have thought it? And yes, for all the Americans and EU heads in the comments, this is me coming out as a CCP agent. If no one noticed from the reverberating echo of my voice against the reflective, bright, white tiled upholstery of my new crib, I have recently relocated to a luxury penthouse in central Guangdong, Nang, Miao, and Dong Autonomous Prefecture. We really out here. Thank you to the big bro Xi for hooking me up. Ladies, let me know what it do out here. I got unlimited Chunghwas on deck. Please, please.
The YouTuber hyping up brand clothes, the fake facade of clothes doesn't save a person. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. The clothes you wear do not define the man. Okay. That's not what anybody's saying. God damn. Let people enjoy shit. Okay. Calm down.
Please drop a comment. Congratulate
It's literally a joke anyway.
And also like this video because God knows I'm gonna need some motivation to make my next one, considering the amount of Tsingtaos, Chunghwas, and Mayong games there are to play out here. And my final words to you will be 再见. What? Who could possibly be knocking at my door at this hour? Who on earth could that be?
Leo, it's me, your old friend Eduardo. I have to be quick, amigo. I cannot disclose the secret operations I am executing here in rural China, but I have an important message for you, my friend. On my year-long journey west, one gloomy, lonely evening, out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of some shining circular item glimmering in the sunset. To my shock, it was a CD. Even more shocking were the words scratched onto this mysterious CD. It read, "The song burned onto this plastic disc is destined to be featured as the outro music on Geopold's China video on Sunday the 13th, 2025. If the destiny is not fulfilled, well, there could be dire consequences." Also, this song is destined to be linked in the description of this video, right under the sponsor text.
So that anyone who appreciates the sound of its imminent divine power can save it and listen to it for their own on any streaming platform. And if not, they do not need to do anything with this information anyway.
It's about time I get back to business, amigo. Adios.
That was great. Link the channel. I want to check this guy out. It's Geopold. Sudan having a better rail system than the US is wild, bruh. It's not. Anyway, yeah, Geopold, more like Sheopold. True. Chinese netizens making fun of your bestie. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt blames Made in China while wearing beautiful lace dress made in China. Blaming Made in China is her job. Enjoying Made in China is her life. That's funny. Besson is telling countries in negotiations to limit China trade and damage China's economy if they want to deal with the U.S. Yeah. That's funny. Besson is telling countries in negotiations to limit China trade and damage China's economy if they want to deal with the U.S. Yeah. What's China's deal against Muslims, or what's up with that in your opinion? They enforced a incredibly aggressive surveillance regime upon the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang due to what they claim is radical separatist elements growing within Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. And in an effort to stamp that out, they basically did re-education camps and a bunch of stuff that was horrifying and completely unacceptable. Having said that, of course, this is my personal assessment of the matter, which is very different than how Americans and Westerners, who are, of course, the most hypocritical deities on the entire planet, they consider it to be the highest stage of genocide that has ever been done. No one else has ever even come near that level of genocide. It's basically Adolf Hitler doing multiple Holocausts at the same time. Now, of course, in order for you to understand the severity, if you wanted to see like my metric, I have often said that if Israel treated the Palestinians in the West Bank and in Gaza in the same ways that in the same ways that China treated the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang, the entire Western globe would be giving so many Nobel Peace Prizes to the state of Israel that there would never, ever be a peace prize given to a single other force, a single other nation ever till the rest of time. They would literally be talking about how great Benjamin Netanyahu is, how beautiful, bold, brave, courageous, sexy, hot, lover of peace Benjamin Netanyahu is. And yeah, this demonstrates the obvious hypocrisy and the ways in which we treat our foreign adversaries as the greatest evil, as opposed to our foreign allies as the greatest force of good. I forget who it was that once said, no, the majority of the info about Xinjiang was not propagated by Adrian Zenz, even though he did play a big role in this propaganda. But let's be real, okay? You don't have to defend the surveillance and re-education structure that the Chinese state created in Xinjiang. It was ridiculous, and it would be ridiculous if America did it, except the reality is America does something so much worse, but that doesn't really matter because it's America doing it or America's allies doing it. It's the same principle that I maintain. It's like we look at Chinese conflict, right? The conflict that China engages in with a severe lens of criticism. Like we act as though boats, mega cringe, you're minimizing what's happening in China just because you simp for them for some reason. Holy shit. I think I am incredibly fair. If China did what Israel was doing in Xinjiang, we would have nuked the Three Gorges Dam, okay? We would have killed 500 million Chinese people by now. If China was doing what Russia has done in Ukraine in Xinjiang, we would have nuked China by now. Do you understand what I'm saying? China plays patty cakes with Filipino Coast Guard boats as they spray them with water, and we act like that is the most insane form of global conflict that has ever taken place. America nukes boats, and we're like, yeah, that's fine. What do you mean? It's just like, yeah, it's America shit. What the fuck are you talking about? They do stick warfare with India on the border, and they spray boats with the only country that, at the behest of U.S. empire, refused to engage in a mutually beneficial security cooperation agreement with China in the South China Sea, the Philippines. And the most impact that they have is basically military exercise, which America does everywhere around the planet, along with our allies, and also spraying Filipino boats with water. Yeah, China will bump a Filipino Coast Guard boat one time, and you will get 8 Johnny Harris videos out of it. Israel will blow up an American naval vessel. No commentary. No commentary on that front, okay? Get the fuck out of here. My point is, make sure your criticism is even-handed. While China is more successful in the U.S. right now, I do think it's weird to act like they're some perfect place in comparison to the U.S. Obviously, they don't commit the same level of war crimes, but they're an empire responsible for lots of atrocities. Like, why can't we all agree China and U.S. both suck? Yeah, I think you're wrong. Like, unless you're talking about 5,000 years of Chinese history, like there's no, you can't make a comparison. It is like comparing America's success in maintaining a global empire to any kind of regional action that China has taken and placing them at the same level of severity is like, I don't know, comparing the Holocaust to one singular battle in World War I. You know what I mean? Were there atrocities? Certainly. One is far more over-encompassing and far more powerful than the other and had far more historic consequence and far more violence in literally 200 years. It's ridiculous. Anyway, kind of feels like whataboutism. Why would it feel like whataboutism if I'm offering criticism to both parties adjusted to the severity of the actions of both parties, not even maintaining the metric that like America and its actions are the norm and therefore China is the most peaceful, most prosperous nation? Okay? Because if I were to use America and its actions as like what hegemonic superpowers do, okay, China would look like the most peaceful nation that has ever existed in the history of mankind in comparison to America, in comparison to what America does on a random Sunday. Like people talk about the Tiananmen Square massacre, right? Like what the f was America doing at the time? We did the move bombing. Like what do you mean? We basically nuked an entire city block in the middle of Philadelphia near Drexel's campus. Okay? What are you talking about? And that's like one thing. It's ridiculous, okay? Like, I think the funniest aspect of this, Bubblegum Bunny Girl, thank you for the 100 gifted subs. Yeah. The inherent irony and why I'm so critical of the Xinjiang operations is quite literally because Xi Jinping personally said that they were doing their own version of internal security, war on terror. It's the closest Xi has ever gotten to American-style cruelty, which is something that hurts my heart to admit and recognize. And of course, I will always be critical of such things. Not my Shayla. Not my Xi. Not my Xi Jinping. It was called the People's War on Terror and inspired directly by the U.S. anti-terrorism propaganda and exploiting minorities for labor, like you said, is not as simple as China good or China bad. History and politics is complex. Not my Shayla, not my Xi. Oh yeah, brother, you're never going to China. I think I'm very fair and balanced. Human rights for the U.S. are a battering ram, a moral justification for immoral actions. When Americans talk about it within their borders, prepare to lose rights. When Americans talk about it outside their borders, prepare for war. My favorite fake Chinese netizen is back. Top Xi, the Uyghur lesson. When the U.S. government chooses its target, their intelligence agencies rationalize it, their think tanks intellectualize it, their NGOs moralize it, and their media amplifies it. Manufacturing consent has been streamlined to perfection. I always knew Americans were ignorant of China, but now I realize they are ignorant even of themselves. We are not afraid of you. You are not who you think you are, and we are not who you think we are. Bro is simping so hard for China. It's a superpower. It took a lot of violence and exploitation to get here. Yeah, perhaps I understand politics is about who gets to do violence and how much violence they get to do. All in the effort of distributing resources and power. Power being violence. So yes. There is not. Point to me a singular example in history where power has conceded without violence. Go ahead. I'll wait. Like what do you think is going on? What do you think borders are? Someone said FDR. Oh yeah, totally. It's not simping, but you're ignoring decent points. Like what? Please come up with a decent argument. Sort your arguments out. Yet we are here saying China is good. The AI shit undermines a good point. You can do much better on China. It's not simping, but you're ignoring decent points. What? Give me the decent points. George Washington. Oh, you mean the slaver George Washington and the Revolutionary War that was played over what? A game of checkers? That's how it worked? You would have owned slaves? Really? That's really interesting you say that. If only there was some sort of pivotal world-changing event that's taking place where you could make an assessment on where I would land on the morality of an ongoing atrocity. If only there was something you could point to make that assessment. I don't know. Can't think of anything. Wait, what did you say? I think there was actually an indigenous tribe in Australia, somewhere in Tasmania, where the population just lay down and took and then were wiped out completely. Yeah, that's still violence. It's just that the indigenous population did not resist. What do you mean? You just described indigenous genocide. That's my point. Whether the direct maintenance of states or anything of that sort, even the enforcement of borders, like these are all ways in which the state enforces violence, even though we don't recognize it. Anyway, you give slave master energy? What is going on in the chat right now? Anyway. Mention 4chan and you summon the Reddit demons? Yeah, I think so. People want me to talk about China while shoving in like every single historic wrong, including hypothetical wrongs that might happen in the future. Just like an unlimited number of negative criticisms anytime I talk about China. That's all it is. It's like if I were to talk about, like, I don't know, American politics in any way, shape, or form, and have to constantly talk about how the founders were slavers and, you know, Kent State, move bombing, post 9/11 war on terror, colonial occupation of Hawaii. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah. Henry Kissinger, nukes, NSA, mass surveillance, Kent State, Church of Scientology, David Miscavige, Occupy Wall Street, May 4th, 1970 massacre, May 13th, 1985 move bombing, Red Summer, 1919, House Un-American Activities Committee, Trail of Tears. And then chat starts spamming that, and then the rest of the chat is like, Xinjiang, Uyghur, Tiananmen Square, overtaking Hong Kong. Like, yeah. It all comes back down to this. China hasn't dropped a bomb in 40 years. The U.S. have dropped a bomb on average every 40 minutes for the past 40 years. And you want to tell me that I'm supposed to hate these guys and that they're like just as violent as we are? If anything, they're not interventionist enough. But hey, guess what? I can't criticize them. I have no motion. There is no growing socialist movement in this country. So how the fuck can I sit there and be like, yeah, what you're doing, I would do better? That's it. That's it. That's all I can sit here and say. I think it's really funny when, like, even in places like India, when chatters are like criticizing India, and myself included, I criticize India too, but like, there is a more robust and functioning socialist or communist movement in places like that than we do here. You know, we got nothing. Yeah, trying to criticize China for being a hegemon that commits violence to specific peoples is like trying to criticize Bernie for owning 3 houses. You can't criticize that from the perspective of someone who has done infinitely worse. Don't be aggro against their closest allies because their capital has told you so. A lot of these imperial core progressives become foreign war hawks when they just don't have to talk about free college. Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, Western chauvinism is incredibly, incredibly strong a motivator. I think it's also the fear of the unknown, but that attitude is changing. I mean, look at the younger generation that hasn't had enough time to develop like anti-China resentments and the social conditioning, and their primary social media is literally a Chinese one. So I think that there is going to be a generational change in terms of like how much anger and resentment and frustration they have to feel towards China, the fear of the other. You know? All of this is insecurities of a dying empire. Okay. Hasan Reactions is one of the best ones in the React channel.